Hey, Kevin. Be with you in a second.
I said, no problem.
Okay, at this time, if everyone can mute. Thank you.
Okay. G. Carlos?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
1 second.
Carlos, if it's not pulling up, I can just start.
Okay. Welcome to Rainey Speaks, where Rainey speaks every Thursday at 7 p.m. And we'll turn you over at this time to Kwabena Rainey Cheeks.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rainey Speaks. I am excited tonight. I have a special guest on, Nana Malandele Zulu, and I will get to him. I'll bring him on in a second. First, let me, I ask everybody every week from now until spring, another month, to use your phone book, call everybody you can to just check in on people, because this is the highest time of depression and suicide. So if you just take your phone and call people, anybody that comes to mind or anybody that you haven't heard from recently, give them a call and just check in. And if you get their voice message, leave your phone number. This is the highest time of depression and suicide. One, because we have less sunlight, but if you notice, the sunlight is beginning to change, and just a period when people, especially if they've had someone that have passed in the last 5 years, they're still going through a grieving process. So let's do what we can do, reach out to your friends, and stay in touch, okay? Well, let me get through this really quick because I want to give my friend as much time as he needs to get this on. Last week, I think I did baptism and communion, and I said that I would give you the stones and the colors with that. For baptism is red jasper, smoky quartz, black sapphire, and red jade. Those are some of the stones. For the second chakra and communion, it is amber, orange coral, and gardenia. Now we get to confirmation. Confirmation in the Catholic Church is when they actually have the rituals of confirmation. And it is saying that I now take responsibility for my life. People may also see this in forms of rites of passage. Rites of passage is saying, I am taking responsibility for my life I'm a young adult. That is moving into adulthood. I'm moving through this one kind of quick, I know. It is a period where your self-esteem is developed, and that you be clear on your mission in your life. The colors that goes with this one is yellow. That's the chakra. The stone is citrine, tiger's eye, and topaz. Those are the colors that goes with this. Also in the third chakra and with confirmation, it is about living healthy. It is taking responsibility for your life and for your own health. That is what the basics of confirmation. Okay, I am going to stop right there because I don't want to take up any more time to bring this brother on. I could introduce him in several ways. I could introduce him as a priest. I could introduce him as an artist. I can introduce him as a drummer. I'm just glad to be able to call him my friend. And I'm glad that he said yes tonight. So I welcome to the platform tonight, Nana Malandele Zulu. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you for being here with me.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here, brother.
Great. Giancarlo, could you bring the full screen up? Yes. Now, I'm going to just ask two questions because it's interesting when I hear people's journey. And the question is, how did you get from where you started from in your journey, spiritual journey, to where you are? What was that process, and what did you go through, and how did you get there? Because I know everybody who especially go into any form of ministry have to wrestle with that yes. And what makes you say yes? I know people now that are fighting saying yes. So what was your journey?
Well, I'd like to say greetings to everyone out there watching and tuning in. As Nana said, my name is Malandele Zulu. That's my birth name. My priest name is Nana Kofi Zulu. So a lot of people know me as Nana Kofi. Okay. I was born into this religion, the Akan religion. I'm an Akan priest from West Africa, Ghana. So I was born into the religion. So you can say ever since I was conceived, I was a part of it. So my mother and my father, is only fitting to start with them, is Mama Mati and Baba Zulu. Baba Zulu was the founder, and my mother was the founder of Ujima Shule, founded in 1968 here in Washington, D.C., in an African school where young Africans are taught who they are, where they come from, learn all about Africa, different religions. And that was my upbringing. So I was traveling at a young age, ever since I was 4 years old, and being able to see many, many different things, around the world. I would say my first trip to Ghana, I think I was like 12 or so. And during that trip, there was a lot of different things that I saw that I didn't understand until later on in my life. That time when we went, we visited the Mahini at the time, and we visited some shrines and things of that sort. Fast forward a little bit, grew up. I became a priest in. It's like when you're getting older, you forget. You forget. But I've been a priest since 2000. Since 2008. No, I'm sorry, 2006. Yeah, 2006. I've been a priest since 2006. It was 3 people on my line. And when I say line, it's the people who you go through training with in the Akan religion. So I was in training for 3 years with Nana Malandele. She's the one who trained me here in Washington, D.C. Subsequently, after that, everybody who you learn with or who your teacher is, you don't always stick with them. You branch out on your own and you do your own thing. So that's what happened with myself. And I began to then learn with Nana Urenchi, who is the king of the surgery shrines in all of America and the world, everywhere. So I began learning with him. So from there, I learned a lot more. Being in a Kumpo and being a priest, and people think that once you graduate, like the 3 years of training, that's it and that's all and you're good to go. That's when everything starts, to be honest with you. That's when it all starts, because you have to actually, now that it's almost like when you get your degree from college and then you go out and get your job and you start working in that job, and all different types of things come up and come through. So you have to be able to rock with that and adapt and learn this and maybe unlearn certain things that you may have learned that you thought was correct and things of that sort. So it's always an ever-changing learning experience. However, I, to be honest, never really wanted to be in a Kung Fu, because like I said, I grew up in it, and I saw how things were and what these people had to do. And it's a lot, you carry a lot on your shoulders. Many people call you up for different things, and they just pop about the blue, and you're in a console, and your job is to serve. Your job is to serve the people, is to help and to heal, And so for myself, I never wanted to do that. All I wanted to do was drum. I was a good drummer, and I would drum in our homes and things of that sort. However, it came out that, oh, you were going to be a priest. I'm like, nope, that's not going to happen. Sorry, I'm not doing that. I was like, that's not happening for me. However, that, God had in place, this is my path. And eventually I did become an Okonfo, which is what I'm doing to this day. And even me thinking about all this is bringing up a lot of different memories, as far as when going into training and being in training, and different things that happen, different spiritual things that happened to me, different dreams that were given to me about different folks, different situations, and being able to understand what those dreams meant, because for us, those dreams were not just dreams, they were messages telling us exactly what to do, how to do it, and everything. And to be honest with you, we all have that gift. It's just whether or not we are willing to tap into it to use and to help folks. Sometimes it's overwhelming because it can be a lot. I can say that it can definitely be a lot. So for myself, I decided that I was going to do it. I didn't really have too much going on in my life at the time when I went into training. My girlfriend left me, got in a car accident, didn't have no car. I was trying to graduate from college, and it was a lot going on. Got kicked out of where I was living. It was a whole lot. So, but I was still in the shrine and still doing things. And they were saying that, you need to go ahead and make this happen. So I actually did. I said, well, you know what? If you let me graduate from college, then I'll go ahead and do it. Sure enough, I would say a week after I graduated from college, I went into training. So that was 2003. And 2006, I graduated. And then that's when everything really started, as I was saying before. Over the years of me being a priest has taught me a whole lot, and has really taught me that if you're a priest, you have to really center yourself, ground yourself, be willing to open yourself up to different things that will be coming to you. That's your job. Your job is to serve. And a lot of times people think that being a priest on Okonfo is you sit on this big stool and you sit on this big pedestal and everybody comes to you and bow down to you. No, that's not what it's about at all. You're the one going out and helping people, and they're coming to you and you're helping them. That's what it's about. It's about healing. It's about the healing of your spirituality, your mind, body, soul, spirit, all of those things, because when we do come here on earth, we pick up different things and all types of stuff that comes with the living life in this world. It's a crazy world, I might have to tell you. And sometimes we need to let those things go. We need to get rid of those things so we can move forward on our spiritual paths. And I let folks know, whether you're a priest or not, if you are on your path and doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing, that God gave you whatever gift that was, then you're going to see everything fall into place. I'm not saying there won't be any bumps, there won't be any bruises on the way. However, the path is going to be open, and you will be able to follow that path and do exactly what God put you here to do. And your life will be so much better too. It definitely will. So, this is just something I'm sending out to folks, make sure you find what it is, your path, and follow it. And it's not too late. I don't care how old you are. It's not too late. It's never too late,
Yeah.
I would say one of those, going back to your question, I just wanted to give a brief history, but going back to your question about what was that thing that changed me, that really gave me that shook. I mean, it wasn't just one, it was many. It was many different things. I remember one time when I was in training that my grandfather had possessed my Nana, and had told me some different things or whatever. So I went back and told my mother about it, and she just broke down crying because that story was never told to me ever. And that just gave me confirmation like, oh, this is the real deal. Real deal, you know. And
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, it happens when they pull your life out in front of you.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that was one of the things. That was even before I became a priest. But even when you're doing the work, and I tell folks, you have to realize it's not you who's doing it. You are the facilitator. It is the spirits. It is God himself, herself, whatever you want to call God. But it's God that is doing the work. It's the spirits that are doing the work. The Orishas, the Abusum, they're the ones that do the work. You are the facilitator to make this happen. You're the ones to, okay, I need to grab this and do this and make this happen, boom, boom, boom. You're the one that hears and listens and gives the message to whoever it is that's there to get the help, and doing the work and seeing the results. Oh, that's amazing. It's out of this world. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's out of this world. So when people actually come to you for shrine work, and then it's not that you don't believe, because you do. However, it's still, you're in awe when it actually happens. You're like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But I always say the shrines, they ain't nothing but the truth. That's a fact. Okay, when nobody say it ain't nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
And I can fast forward again, recently in life, traveling to Ghana, and I used to hear about, like, you've seen the spirits, I'm about to summon this shrine, and these spirits are going to pop up, and you're going to say, like, what? Yeah, whatever. I don't believe none of that. And then sure enough, there's been plenty of times I've gone to shrines and you see them spirits straight up in your face, like I'm looking at y'all right now, just like that. And you like, what did I just see? But it's nothing fake. It's all real. I mean, this world is amazing. There's so many different things that we can tap into to use to help us to achieve whatever it is in life that we want, and it's important for us to actually use those gifts that were given to us, or use the shrines that are given to us, because us as African people and other religions in the world, whether they're Black or whatever race, we have these ancient traditions that are in place that actually they work. They work. And if we use it correctly and we use it right, you can see the results of it. So yeah, that was a lot.
You I think one of the first people that I met that was born into this, that didn't convert from something else. And I was like, wow, he was actually raised in this. And I thought maybe that's why it came so easy, but I know that I know part of your journey and what you went through, and watched you fight with that yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, let him fight. He's gonna lose this one, but I'll watch him fight.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. You are also an incredible artist.
Yes.
Yeah. When did your artwork start?
So I've been an artist ever since I can remember, 8 years old still, and I still have that drawing of a little charcoal dog that I drew. So I've been doing art ever since I was 8 years old that I can remember. I'm also an art teacher here in Washington, D.C. area. Teach high school. Been teaching, oh my God, about 26 years, long time.
Oh.
Yeah, as soon as I graduated, because I graduated from high school at 16. When I graduated from college, I was teaching. So I've just been teaching. You know what I'm saying? But art has always been a passion of mine. I sell my art professionally. I do murals around the world. I've done paintings for the president of Ghana, president of Sierra Leone, first lady of Burkina Faso. So I've traveled, quite extensively, and I blame all that on my father. The fact that ever since I was 4 years old, we went to Tanzania and all these other different places. So that bug was in me at an early age,
Yes.
travel, and I always implore all those out there, I'm like, yo, get your passport, travel. And when you step foot on Africa, you can be like, yeah, why haven't I been here all this time? I'll be back.
Mhm.
So
I tell everybody the experience of going to Africa just when it's hard to describe when you step on the land and you just go out, it's like, wow.
yep, exactly.
You know, yeah, it is mind blowing. Um, um, you are a priest of surgery,
Yes, on the surgery.
not a surgery.
Yep.
Tell them a little bit about a surgery.
So Nana surgery is a river spirit, okay, coming from Ghana, West Africa. Nana surgery is a healer. All right. He's one who's he knows a lot about the herbs, just like most spirits, but that's his thing, is one of those who heals. Okay. A lot of people, when you say he has a lot of wives, all right, I'm one of his wives, actually, because when you talk about spiritual and in the spirit realm, I'm married to this spirit, and this spirit is married to me. And this is the spirit that almost like the spirit that governs my head, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people know him as having plenty wives because, you know, he takes care of all the folks who he governs their head. He takes good care of them, especially if you're doing the work and doing it correctly and following the things that he has instilled upon us to do. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the things that are known about him. There are many other attributes that people can hear about him, but you know, when you hear about Nana Kwejiri, he's a healer, and that's his main thing that he does. And he's a healer.
And before we go any further, I'm going to say to those that are listening, I see Pearl and Kevin, and if you have any questions, anybody, please put it in the chat, or if you guys just click in and ask a question, it'll be cool. I love to just have the open forums to a way of educating.
Yep.
I was going to ask you something and it went right out of my brain. But on the work that you're doing now,
Mm-hmm.
is it, do you have your own shrine? What are you doing?
I don't necessarily have my own shrine. Let's back up. So being part of a shrine house, when you graduate and you become a priest, you receive your kudu, your different shrines, just like so I have my Nana surgery shrine, you know, maybe have Tiguri, an AC and other different shrines. You work with those shrines. Now you can still be a part of a shrine house, but that doesn't mean you don't have your own shrines in your own shrine house. So it's almost like let me see, what's the best way to put it? Oh my God. Well, I'll say this. I'm part of Nana Yao Urinchi's Shrine House, Yami Betchide, and that is in Ghana. Okay. So I'm under him. But I still have my own shrine here. And my shrine's in my house, meaning I do have a shrine house, you know.
Yes.
So I do shrine work, and that's what I do, you know. So people may call me up like I need to come get a reading, or I need a bath, or this or that, or can you marry us, or this funeral arrangements, or all different types of things. I've seen a lot, you know, and I've done a lot. However, I don't know everything, and I'm gonna say that now. Why? Because as I said earlier, you're always learning, always learning.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna know everything. Nobody knows everything. Nobody, you know.
Yeah.
So you always learn new things, and I'm open to receive the knowledge, to learn it, and to impart that information and healing to whoever comes, you know. So,
You know, on my journey, I kind of walked away from it at one point and then got pulled right back into it again.
yeah, you can't get away from it.
Yes, I was like, okay.
Once you're in.
The shrine that I was with, they went to Ghana, and while they were getting initiated, a reading came up and said, there's somebody left in the States. Who is it? And when they called me on the phone, they said, Numo said that you are the Basumfo for the shrine. I said, boy, quit playing. I said, when did y'all get back? They said, we're not back, we're in Ghana. He said, wow. And he was in the background saying, ask him. I said, he said, give me the phone. He said, hi. He said, the shrines are telling me that you're the Basumfo for this shrine. Are you going to say yes? I was like, I was like, okay, here we go. And that's how that happened, you know?
Yep. Yeah, you can't get away from it, especially if this is your path. Of course, we sometimes tend to go to the left or go to the right, but we get grabbed right back in because it's important and this is your life's work, and you got people counting on you. You know, you have lives and spirits counting on you to do what you're supposed to be doing so that they can get back on track also, you know, and that's another reason why they're here, which almost brings me back to Nana Malandele. That's another thing they say about him, is that he came to America to help the lost children of Africa basically get back on their path, you know, to tap back into what they lost through the passage and coming, you know, here into America and everything. So, you know, same for us. So now that we have that knowledge, it's important for us to impart that knowledge and the healing and, you know, practices on to other people. And we're not the type that, oh, if you don't do this, you're going to hell and you better do it my way. No, there's so many different practices and religions out here that my thing is, as long as you under God, we're good, you know? We're good, you know? From Yoruba to Santeria to Voodoo and all of those different things, you know, all those different practices. I don't know who, well, we do know who said it was evil. But we all know who said it was evil, and they continue to say it's evil to this day.
Yeah.
You know, that's only because, and the reason why they said it was evil, the work that we do and the shrines that we have, is because they knew the power in it. So imagine if you had all of the African folks everywhere in the world practicing their religion. Oh my God, you know how powerful that would be? That would be amazing. Like,
you know, yeah. Yeah, they did a real job on us, making us believe that we were separate and that what our indigenous religion was evil. When we went to Ghana, one of the elders said to me, he said, "You are a Christian minister." I said, "Yes." He said, "You are a fetish priest." I said, "Yes." He said, "How can you be both?" And I laughed and I said, what is that in the sky? He said, the sun. I said, when I cross the water, is it a different sun or the same sun? And he looked at me and said, you understand. He said, so many of them come here and try to tell us that our religion is wrong. I said, no. I said, many of them, they know the truth, but they're trying to stay in power.
Right.
So it is a job. What is blowing me away right now, Nana, is I'm talking to some brothers that are in Ghana, and they're asking me questions about the shrines.
Yeah.
And asking me, will I come and take them to the shrines? And I'm going,
exactly.
Wow, that just blows me away. And when they ask me, how do you know so much? I'm like, you'll be surprised how many people here in America study the religion that comes from where you are. Exactly. And some of them are right there near the shrines and won't go.
No, they won't.
They're scared to go.
Yep.
So what do you think has been your biggest I'm going to say struggle in this process?
Biggest struggle in this process. Um, that's a good question. My biggest struggle in this process. I mean, to be honest, for me, the how do I answer that? The reason I'm saying that is because I don't tend to struggle with it because this is my path. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and the Abusum and the ancestors continue to bring me the people that I need to help me to continue to move forward on this path. You know what I mean? So,
You know what I run into,
mhm.
and it's so interesting that I run into people because they know me as Bishop Cheeks,
Yeah,
don't think that I fully embrace the traditional religion, or they are wanting to know how can I be both. And it is, and I get it on both sides of the
right.
fence. Some of the people in the tradition is like, well, they question whether I'm fully in because I'm still a bishop. And then those fundamentalist Christians are, you know, how can you practice that? So I kind of wrestle with both sides of it. But I pay them no mind, you know. I'm like, if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Don't get it, you don't get it. Forget about it.
Yeah, yeah. Which I find it less now. Um, I guess because I've been around it so long, but especially when I first came. In fact, I was told in the beginning, you have to give up that religion. And I said, not happening. And I said, why would I, when the doctors told me that I was dying, I didn't know Tigray at that time. I didn't know any of the deities at that time. I only knew Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's the name that I called on and defied all the doctors.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why would I throw that? And I looked at Jesus as a deified ancestor.
Gotcha.
And so I said, why would I throw away the one that healed me in this process?
Right.
And what was funny when the last shrine I was with, when they asked me the question, and I said, no, they work together. So they threw the shells at me and asked, would I be accepted? It fell yes. They did a bird, it fell yes. They did a goat, it fell yes. I said, how much more do you need?
Yeah.
I said, but you guys don't understand, there's no separation in spirit. The separation is in your mind. Y'all act like in spirit, there's a traffic cop going, Yoruba over there, a Khan over there, Christians over there, Muslims over there. You know, I said, there's no traffic cop in spirit. They all work together. So, yeah, you've been on, you know, I really do. I know not all of your journey, but a good part of your journey, and that you have been somebody that I've watched that has been straight and constant. And I can't say this about everybody, but every time I meet you, I meet you. Some people you got to wait to see who show up.
You gotta be real, you know, you gotta be real and true to yourself always, you know, you have to. And consistency is something that is so much needed in everybody's life. And a lot of people don't realize that, all right, let me do it this time, and then I ain't gonna do it this time, and I'm not gonna do it. No, if you're consistent with anything in life, you're gonna see the rewards and the progress and what it is that you're doing. You know, that's something that is key to keep inside, and just be consistent with whatever it is you're doing. Whatever it is you say you're gonna do it. You know, keep your word. That's all.
Yeah, that is so important in doing this work, and especially when we realize that we're working with wounded people.
Yep, exactly.
And I look at people like you who are actually become the bridge for younger people that are coming in. Because everybody can't speak to
I get
that
you.
group.
I get what you're saying. And I'm noticing that too. that I have a lot of the younger folks who they're gravitating towards, the shrine and coming to get work done, and they're seeing the outcome from it, And I always say that the religion is result based. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you go somewhere and like, yeah, I need to get this work done, and then nothing happens. You're like, what happened? You come to the shrines, you ask, you shall receive. It will definitely work. And I always tell people, though, it's important for your mind and your body and your spirit to be just as involved as what I'm doing for you. You need to be just as involved in the process of what is happening, because the mind is a real interesting thing. And if your mind decides that, all right, what you're doing is a bunch of nonsense, guess what? That's exactly what you're going to receive, a bunch of nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and the other thing that I see Barbara Kevin is here, and I see E.R. Pearl is here, and both of them are priests in the Lukumi system.
Nice.
And that when we look at doing this work in spirit, there's no separation.
No.
Maybe different methods, but there's no separation.
Absolutely.
And that people, I believe, I've always felt this since I've been involved, is that we are thankful for those elders that were before us. They laid a foundation, but it is you guys who are making the bridge for younger people, because a lot of people are beginning to really question church and religion altogether.
That's true.
If they don't see any results, they don't want to come.
That's right.
And they're beginning to find out that as much as my mother literally said to me when they would show pictures of Africa, she said, I want you to stop and think, does that look real? Because it would always be like Tarzan could speak to all the animals, but none of the native people could speak to the animals. My mother said, I just want you to stop. I'm not going to tell you not to cut it off.
Right.
But all of these Black people, none of them can speak to the animals, but this white man comes and falls as a baby, and he can speak to all of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you want to keep watching that? And I sat there and said, she just ruined my Tarzan. Then I started going, that don't make sense. Well, that don't make sense. And she said, and this one white man get in a fight and can beat up all of the native people. Does that make sense? I said, okay. So that ruined Tarzan for me. And I started seeing things differently.
Yeah, and the real thing too, Nana, is that they've been trying to keep us out of Africa for forever. Ever since they went and grabbed us and brought us here, they've been trying to keep us out of there and the reason why they continue to, plumage and loot and just tear up Africa is because Africa is the cradle of civilization. It has all the minerals, resources, spirituality, practice. Everything is in Africa. Everything you need, and they continue to go and take, but they continue to show to African Americans all over the world that you don't want to go to Africa. Africa is dirty, it's disease infested, and people are living in trees. They don't have this, they don't have that, and that's not true at all.
No, listen, I have a friend, he's here from Uganda, Moses. And he taught me this. He said, do you know why different parts of Africa speak Portuguese or speak French or speak English? He said they literally took a map and divided Africa up on who would get what part.
Berlin Conference. Yep.
I said, really? And he took a map and showed me. He said, this line comes here. He said they literally tried to change the Nile River, and they wanted it, they tried to direct it so that it would go to the west, something like that. They were getting ready to drill. He laid down the whole thing. He said, all of us in Africa know this.
Mhm.
He said, that's why these countries speak French, these countries speak English, these countries speak Portuguese. He said it was divided up among, they said, and made, I said, wow, blew me away.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And again, that was all part of trying to make, there's a paper called, and I encourage everybody to read it. It's called the Willie Lynch Papers. Have you ever read them?
Yeah, I have. Yep.
Yeah, and the Making of a Slave.
Yep. I've read it.
And when I read that, I was just, you have to read it and breathe.
It's
So
a lot.
you don't get too mad.
They
You
messed
have to
us
keep
up. They
breathing.
really messed us. They messed us up. They really did. You know.
Yes. Well, I am really glad we gotta get together and
Yeah, absolutely.
and do some more stuff. Matter of fact, yeah. I just became the spiritual director of a center,
Mhm.
and I'll be connecting with you more on that later.
All right.
Is there before I still got a little time, is there anything else you like to share with people? I want to tell you guys, is your artwork online?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, it's at Zulu_soul, SOUL. So at ZULU_SOUL. And if you're not, then you can check me out at my website, which is ZuluSoul.art. So ZuluSoul.art.
Yeah, I man, when I first started seeing your work, I was like, whoa.
Was that ZuluSoul.art?
Yes, ZuluSoul.art. That's the website.
And can I make a comment?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Just wanted to say, a lot of young people coming to you because you an honest brother. And there's a lot of priests and occamfos who are full of shit.
You know, hey.
Okay, I'm
Hey.
just saying. But I was sitting here and I wanted to say this earlier, but I wanted to wait till there was an opening. It's because you know what the word integrity means.
Yeah.
And it's because you know what the word honesty means.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the challenges that we have in our culture is there are a lot of dishonest people, and not just dishonest people, but people who don't have people skills. And people who don't know how to stay in their own lane. If you're not a therapist, you need to refer people to a therapist.
There you go. I get you.
Okay, there's a lot of our people who need therapy.
Yeah, that's real.
Well, you know what?
Many of the priests need therapy.
I find one of the traps in ministry is people become a priest and think that they're supposed to have all of the answers.
Mm-mm.
And you don't have all of the answers.
Nope.
And what people have to be willing to know is that if you're better in this than I am, why not refer somebody to you? So, I keep 3 phone numbers and they are all therapists that I can refer people to. I know the limits in which my counseling go.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes to a certain level and it needs to go deeper, I refer them to a therapist.
Facts.
But we just have to know what it is that we're good at and be able to say, baby, call that person and I'll still be with you.
Right.
And that just gives that takes integrity to do that,
And one more thing before I go, to piggyback off of what you said, brother. My father told me a long time ago when I told him I was going to become a priest, he was so happy and overjoyed about that. But the one thing he said, make sure that you are righteous. And that was it. So, because righteousness, that goes a long way. And if you ain't righteous out there, you ain't honest and you just doing the side thing and trying to get money from people and swindling them out of this and that. Nah, I'm not even about that. I always tell people I never went into doing shrine work and being a konfo to make no money. That was not even the case. I did this because I knew my friends and family, you know, they needed it. And I would be that one to bridge that gap between my friends and my age group. And they will come to me and they will see the results and reap the benefits from what the shrines have to offer. So, yeah.
Well, I am super glad that you said yes and that you came on to share with everybody. I highly respect you as a priest. Like I said, watching your journey and through the whole thing, that you still stayed right there.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is in watching the process that the ego stayed balanced. That is so important in doing this work.
That's right.
That the ego stay balanced, because with all that I do, I still stay amazed. I'm like, wow, that actually happened.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's still so much that you can learn and pick up and do.
Right.
Nana, would you give out your contact information again one more time for people?
Absolutely. So my phone number is 240-565-7486. You can reach me at email also at ZuluSoul, ZULUSOUL, 1 @Yahoo. And then, as I said before, my Instagram for my art is at Zulu_soul, SOUL. And then the website is ZuluSoul.art.
And I will encourage you to go and take a look at his artwork. It is absolutely fantastic. That alone will blow you away. You can tell spirit is actually, you know what? I have to say this. When I first started seeing your artwork, I was like, you know, the spirit is really moving through him. It is so, I love your work.
Thank you.
No, I looked at it. I used to look at it and just go, how did he get to that? You know? Yeah. So you can tell when the spirit is moving with people and when it's coming through. So I thank you for sharing. I know it has blessed somebody and those who will hear it on the journey. And the reason why I bring different people, because all of us have a different experience on how we got from where we started to here. Like, you're born in the culture, but you still wrestled with your yes.
Absolutely. I sure did.
And all of us have a period of wrestling. I tell everybody, if you don't wrestle with your yes, I question. You don't say yes to this real easy to any part of ministry. Because you're saying, yes, I'll be a servant to the people that come to me.
That's right.
Well, Nana, I'm going to ask if you would, anybody else have any comment or question while you got them here?
Just gratitude.
Yes.
It is so, I tell you, it's so uplifting. It's so inspiring. It's so, like, it feeds your spirit to meet people like this, brother. You know, because when you've met so many crazy people, you know, and then when you first started talking, oh man, I have to tell you, it just touched me right here.
Yeah. Wait a minute, did you call me crazy?
No, right. and that is something that I've listened to a lot of people speak. I've met, you know, I know a lot of priests, you know, in my tradition. But when I hear a young brother like you speak, and I feel you understand what I'm saying? From the very first sentence that you spoke, I was feeling you. I said, oh, this brother, of course I should have known, you know, Rainey don't invite garbage. But I'm just like, oh, he's for real. He's an honest man, which is rare. He's a man who's not being driven by his ego, which is so rare.
Well, that's why I wanted him to come on and to be able to share and people be able to meet somebody like him. So I thank you for giving up your time and energy and sharing. I see he's put all of your information up on the board. We thank you, G. Carlos. Nana, I'm going to ask if you would just pray us out. Say a prayer.
All right. Okay. Mother, Father God, we ask that all those who are here today and in part of this, that you bless them with prosperity and abundance in every single aspect of their life, whether it be spiritually, physically, emotionally, any part of their life. Bring them abundance of good health. You bring them abundance of good things. Bring them abundance of good friends. Bring them abundance of good energy, and continue to use that to help others and attract those like us to us, so that we can put out there the energy that is needed for this world, because we know that this world and what it is, it needs positive energy, it needs healing, and that you allow us to be that vessel to create and make these things happen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your yes. And I pray that everybody that see you, hear you, touch you, even think of you, will experience the love flowing in your life. For these blessings and all blessings, I simply say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will be in touch with you soon. And for everybody, I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We will continue on the other sacraments. As I explained, next week will be the sacrament of marriage and what it means spiritually, not just marrying another person, but can you be married to your own soul? So we will get into that explanation. Just so that to make sure I gave it to you, the first chakra, the stones is red jasper, smoky quartz, ruby, sapphire, and red jade. The second chakra and the sacrament of communion was amber and coral and citrine. And the third one, confirmation, is tiger's eye, topaz, and citrine. Those are the three, and we'll get to number 4 next week. Well, again, I thank everyone for joining me and sharing, and I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday. I thank all who make donations to me on Rainey Speaks that help me continue to do this work. For all of these blessings. And again, I thank Nana Malandele Zulu for sharing his energy and wisdom with us tonight. Good night to everyone, and I will see you next Thursday night. Peace.
Good night to you, Bishop. God
Good
bless
night.
you.
Thank you, Pearl, always.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. And Celeste, thank you for joining in.
I'm leaving.